I betrayed not just a man, but a movement, a dream, a continent. One morning, while carrying a bag of rice, a soldier in plain clothes came to the village. He handed me a sealed envelope. Inside it were two things: a certificate of amnesty, signed by the president himself, a passport, with my real name restored. On the back of the envelope, a short note: some men are born with guns. Others find their power when they lay their weapons down. Keep building, brother. Ibrahim Traore. That weekend, the village elder asked me to speak to the young men, most of whom had no jobs, no future, no voice. I stood before them, heart pounding, and for the first time, I told the truth. I was a traitor. I was sent here to destroy. But this land, this dust, these children, they changed me. Ibrahim Traore changed me. Not with bullets, not with fear, but with mercy. There was silence. Then one man stood up and said, "Then you are one of us now." I still carry my sins, but now I carry bricks too. I carry hope, because of the man I once tried to betray. It had been months since the failed coup. The village felt like home. The people had accepted me. The children called me Uncle Malik. I had changed. But evil doesn't sleep. One evening, I received a strange visitor, a man in sunglasses, driving a black pickup. I recognized him instantly. His name was Pascal, one of the original 7 agents from our mission. I thought he was dead. "You look healthy," he said with a cold smile. I didn't shake his hand. We sat on a wooden bench under a mango tree. He looked around and said, "Malik, you're wasting away here. Come back. There's a new plan. Bigger, cleaner. The Americans want it done before the next elections." I stayed silent. They'll pay more this time, not just for Traore, but for his entire circle. 15 million euros. Easy. My blood turned cold. They still wanted him dead, even after everything, even after their first plan failed. I looked Pascal in the eyes. "I'm not that man anymore." He laughed. "You think Traore will protect you forever? The world doesn't forgive traitors, Malik. You'll always be one." I stood up. "Then let the world call me what it wants. I've seen a better one, a freer one, and I'll defend it, even if it kills me." Pascal's smile faded. He got in his car and drove off. I never saw him again, but I knew he wasn't alone, and that meant they were still planning something. That night, I couldn't sleep, not because I was afraid, but because for the first time, I realized I was no longer running from my past. I was standing in front of it, ready to face it, and I wasn't alone anymore. 2 weeks later, a soldier came to the village with a message. It was short. "The traitors are planning another strike, this time from inside the treasury. We may need your help. Come quietly. IT." I folded the paper, took a deep breath, and packed my bag. I wasn't being hunted anymore. I was being trusted to protect the very man I once tried to destroy. And I was ready, not for money, not for revenge, but for Burkina Faso. I once betrayed my country for money. Now I would give my life to defend it. They haven't stopped coming. But this time, neither have we. I arrived in Ouagadougou just after midnight. They didn't take me to the palace. They didn't put me in a hotel. Instead, I was led to an empty warehouse on the edge of the city. Inside were 5 men. Quiet, focused, armed. These were Traore's ghost guards, loyal only to him. One of them handed me a file. Inside were photos, maps, and transaction records. It was real. The coup wasn't just about guns this time. It was money warfare. Foreign agents had bribed key people inside the Treasury, Customs, and Central Bank. The goal? Crash the economy, make the people turn against Traore. And during the chaos, remove him, silently, swiftly. We spent 3 nights building a plan. My job was simple. Use what I knew about the traitor networks to bait them out. I sent a coded message to one of my old contacts. Traoré's inner circle is broken. Move now. I'll open the door. We waited. Within hours, they replied, "You have one chance. Friday night. Same price." That meant 10 million euros. Again. But this time, I wasn't taking the money. I was taking them down. Friday, midnight. The traders arrived at a hidden location just outside the Ministry of Finance. They were expecting me. Instead, they found Traoré's elite guards, waiting in silence. No gunfire, no screaming, just hands in the air and secrets exposed. Among the men captured was a former minister, 2 businessmen with French passports, and a bank official with direct links to Switzerland. That morning, I was brought to the presidential compound. It was quiet. I expected a handshake, or maybe silence. Instead, Traoré met me alone, in a garden behind the building. He looked older, tired, but calm, still calm. He said, "The ones who betray us once are often the ones who protect us best, because they've seen the truth from both sides." He took something out of his pocket, a bracelet made of worn brown leather and green beads. "This was mine," he said, "from the bush, before the uniform. Keep it, not as a reward, but as a reminder of who you are now." I walked out of that garden feeling light. I didn't need money, I didn't need power, I just needed peace. And that day I found it, not in Europe, not in a mansion, but in the dirt of a land I once tried to break, and now vowed to protect. Today I teach security to young recruits in the new Burkina Faso army. I train them not to fight for money, but to protect something greater. I never told them my past, but sometimes I see a look in a young man's eyes, a look of pain, hunger, confusion. And I place my hand on his shoulder and say, "You can change. It's not too late. I know because I did." They paid me 10 million euros to kill him, but Ibrahim Traore didn't destroy me. He gave me a new life, and that is something money can never buy.